the next 20 years, the global entertainment will not only include APAC, it will be shaped by APAC.
Hello everyone, coming to you from APOS in Bali, and we are joined by Minyoung Kim, Vice President for Content in APAC X India for Netflix, for a real special session. Welcome, Min.
Well, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you today, and Netflix opened up APOS with an opening reception last night, and the theme really seemed to be 10 years in APAC. Take us back to 2016 and where we are today. What were some of the biggest changes in how you approach the region today versus 10 years ago?
I think when we first started in 2016, we were really trying to explore what are the areas we need to do well in order to grow in this market. Basically, what does our audience in APAC want? We've had our hypothesis that local content is an important investment that we need to make to please our members in APAC and bring them onto our service. We have a lot of proof, we have a lot of successes to really continue to believe that is the case. And I think we've proven to the world as well. And if you think about what's been different between 2016 and 2026, look at what the world is watching. And I think a lot of our shows from this part of the world is not a foreign title anymore. It's just a great story. And I think that's the big difference. And that's what we're continuing to provide to our audience.
If you could tell me in one line, what is something that Netflix and content production, what is something that you got wrong in 2016?
I came to APOD thinking and believing that, we've always been very, gung-ho about local content. Local content has always been an important investment that we make as a company. And then I came and I saw the quote from Ted and Reed 10 years ago. And then I realized the direction, while the vision was similar, the direction was slightly different. And what we learned in the process was that the more locally authentic the story is, it has much better possibility to travel outside and find audiences in different countries. So, we've always believed that Asia is where a lot of innovative storytelling comes from, but we have become more certain that it's locally authentic shows from our local creator is what's going to help us not only grow in APAC, but also grow the engagement of our Asian storytelling outside of APAC as well.
Netflix has really changed the economics of how television is produced in Asia. How do you keep that ecosystem healthy now?
What Netflix did in APAC is to help creators be able to tell stories with a bigger vision and bigger ambition. But what we really believe is that in order to ensure that we deliver the best content to our members, we need to enable a lot of innovative storytelling happening in each of those markets. And what that means is a healthy competition is really important in really enabling that. So our teams in each of the local markets, while they do work for Netflix, they are very committed to making sure that their local industry really grows in a healthy way.
I think your successes and where you are in Korea and Japan really speak to a decade working with these industries. In Southeast Asia, we're a little bit earlier on in that curve. Where do you kind of see Southeast Asia going? Because again, the industry has gone back and forth on Southeast Asia. What are some of the lessons so far for you?
We have always been very committed to Southeast Asia, but Southeast Asia is a very complex market. And it took us more time to really understand what our audiences in that market want. And now we do have a lot of confidence in that area through a lot of our shows like Mad Unicorn, Evil Lawyer that just launched, Secret Girl that we have in Indonesia. I think the next phase is really figuring out what are those stories that our audiences in Southeast Asia really wants to see on our service, on Netflix. We are slightly more at an early stage compared to these other markets, but that just means that we have a lot more to explore and we are very much committed to continuously investing in Southeast Asia.
If in 2030, if the slate that you're currently producing in Asia, is it more of the same? Or how do you kind of see that going forward for the next 10 years?
If I look at countries like Korea compared to 10 years ago and now, it's getting more and more difficult to really impress our audience, which means that we need to continue to deliver on the stories that they have not seen before. So that innovation becomes a very important piece in not only growing, but really making sure that we continue to deliver entertainment. And you know what this company really tries to stay away from is complacency. And we always make sure that we are looking for areas that we haven't looked at before, seeing around the edges, and really trying to continuously learn from the audiences what they're really looking for or what we think that they will actually enjoy. So it's a continuous innovation and continuous evolution of what we're doing now in terms of variety and also quality.
If you had to put it in one line, what is one genre or format that you want to see in the Netflix Asia slate in 2030?
We make great unscripted shows in countries like Korea or Japan. You've seen Culinary Class War or Badly in Love. There are other parts of APAC like Southeast Asia or Taiwan where we have not really gotten into those areas. So there are so many more things that we can get into in order to continue to entertain our members.
Last night at the reception, you mentioned that how Hollywood became powerful was because it was connected. It built an ecosystem. Where are we towards that in Asia? Could Asia as a collective have that level of presence and kind of global production capability that we see in Hollywood?
You know, you have to dream big to be able to achieve big things. And I believe in order for an industry to have more sustainability, you need a certain level of scale. You know, we constantly say that every country is different in Asia. And what that means, they have a different skill sets in every area through that overall ecosystem. But if we put everything together, I believe that we can really become that content innovative powerhouse. If you think about the past 10 years, we've seen what we can do. The next 10 or 20 years, the global entertainment will not only include APAC, it will be shaped by APAC.
The next Asian content market that everyone underestimates.
I think we're seeing a great deal of interest around Chinese language content, especially with The Pursuit of Jade and a lot of our originals that we've sort of introduced our members, like Asian from Above. I think the Chinese language content has a lot of potential. If I'm allowed to pick the next one, I would actually say Thai content has a lot of potential to really become loved by a lot of our members outside of Thailand.
All right, one last one. Finish the sentence. The next 10 years for Netflix in Asia is about?
Next 10 years of Netflix in Asia is about continuous innovation. When it comes to content, discovery, and continuing to entertain the world.